What was he doing? Was he not coming to work? Was the buildings clean? That's all. Oh, that's pretty old. Is that right? The drinking
And then pledge. So everyone volunteer to do the pledge. I mean the prayer.
I have that.
Thank you. Calvin Perry.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together as one united front, looking to address the issues that impact us today. Ask your blessings, guidance, direction from us as we move forward in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Kevin Key, Cynthia Stewart, Crystal Harris, Nick Harris,
Here.
Tony Brown,
Here.
Wayne Crawford,
Here.
America Long is here, Dennis Woodson, what's here?
All right.
You might understand. Will the stewards stand and be recognized? Starting from the back. Lynn Cordier, Student Life.
Graduates Medical Center.
Fern for Student Life.
Nick Harrison, SOD.
Dwayne Jones, Student Life.
Tom Hines, New York campus.
Tony Brown, Medical Center.
Stephanie Johnson, Medical.
Good morning. We'll start with the regular agenda, but otherwise, our treasurer is not here this morning. She's at a required meeting. I need a motion from the floor to have that report at the next meeting. Do I have such a motion? Tony Brown. Is there a second? Wayne Crawford. All in favor of said motion signify by saying aye. Aye. I oppose, same sign. Motion is passed. We're waiting for copies of the January minutes. So we'll do that when that time comes. At this time, I'd like to ask for new business. I take that back. I'm going to ask for old business. Old business. David Lester.
I'll talk about old business. I think in January, I thank the local for sending out staff rep Terrell Davis to the stores area to talk to management. Our old business, he came out and talked to management on February 12th. It was an excellent, excellent meeting. He did a fantastic job. We covered all the issues. I don't think management's answer back was satisfactory to the local or member interests. We covered all the bases. Management, I believe, incriminated themselves in the course of the informal pre-grievance meeting we had with them. I think it's going to work out for the local, and I'm really glad to have somebody from the local aware of what's going on in the storage area. We've been in transition for a while. It's one boondoggle after the next. It's fouling up our merit pay situation and some of the classification issues that have been long-standing with the storage area. So he's a super guy, did a fantastic job, and I told him I'd say so at the meeting, and that's old business. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. That's a continuing episode. I believe it's probably the epicenter of what's going to happen, or the attempt to further erode the classification system at the university. They have, with absolute no exception, an idea to turn everybody into some kind of utility person, which would include doing whatever it is that needs to be done at whatever moment it needs to be done. If you are a business owner or operator, that probably sounds delightful. But what it opens the door to is sort of a exploitation of workers. If you spend time learning custodial skills and those things, to expand it to something else without pay, without negotiation, is an exploitation. If you spend time learning to be an electrician and you want to apply that particular skill, and they want to make you cut tree limbs, cut grass, it's exploitation. It's exploitation of the system, and it opens the door wider for that exploitation of labor. You put into your particular skill or job or vocation, and you expect to apply it, become sort of expert at it, and to be acknowledged for it. Just a wide open sort of classification says you're just here, and you're just going to do what it is dangerous to the system for which we work in. Everybody here is a public worker. Everybody here is under a classification system of some kind. The university has promulgated laws and rules because they can do it, unlike any other state-supported or state-run institution. So it puts us in a precarious position forever, and we have to find a way to turn that tide to your advantage. The problem is that the institution and most administrations don't realize that things that are to your advantage are to the advantage of the system from which they're supposed to provide to the public. So all of these moves are sort of popular to the general public because we're in what is a continuing anti-labor union situation. So we have to sort of hold on to that culture from the inside and educate the outside in general about what that does to workers' rights, the economy in general, and specifically in certain neighborhoods, and just push forward, keep fighting until the fight is over, and hopefully we be on top after that. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it that really works in the environment. You have managers and administrators that are pushed forward. They're told to do it. They're told to administer it, and so they do that. But nobody likes it. Everybody, I believe everybody that's in the situation realizes the diminishment of their rights and the diminishment of a culture that gives acknowledgement to people who work and make the machine go. Top 2%, 1% has little to no appreciation for that. Little to no appreciation for that. The appreciation is for the institute or the administration. So we have to do our own sort of PR, and we have to kind of fight the little fight and hope to make way for winning the war. So anyhow, that's a long-term struggle. We started on it in another way. We had a grievance that's at least 2 years old. I think that's passed on to a different sort of appeal. And so this is really sort of a regeneration of that. And so we're going to go on with that. And that meeting will be the end of that. We have grievances scheduled and more meetings. But right now it's sort of in the investigatory stage. So thank you. He'll be be back out there. It's sort of an assignment for him now. Old business. Any more old business? All right, hearing none, we'll move to new business. New business. Tony Brown, you have the floor.
I would just like to report the president and our members that I've had a meeting with the HR representative of the medical center regarding the P3 initial reviews, which they obviously had overlooked the exceeds part of that particular documentation. They have accepted and will be doing an entire review of the entire department, and will ask everybody and get with them about how to exceed. I think this is a big breakthrough in that particular area and that department, and I plan to expand that beyond that department.
Okay. Did you hear it?
No.
You didn't? You have to either move closer because it's not going to say it all over again. He had a meeting yesterday regarding almost the whole department of EBS. That's not EBS.
Maintenance and EBS.
Maintenance and EBS hadn't really complied to Article 21. Specifically, is how do I get an exceed in this performance evaluation? During that meeting, it reported that they have conceded that, one, they didn't do it, and two, they should do it and will do it. I think you'll be getting dates for that.
By April.
By April.
Before April 1st.
By April 1st. So it's sort of the first engagement where they hadn't done what they contracted to do, and they've agreed sort of verbally that they'll do that. So that's just a verbal agreement. Tony and the rest of the staff at the hospital will watch it and make sure that they carry it through with it. It seems simple, but even though it's contracted, it's in the contract, it's difficult to get those things done sometimes. And so that's a big step in that direction for that department, and it will flow over to EVS. And Tony and Paul Willis, Miracle Long, and Martin Newman will all work toward that together to try to make that happen. Any more new business? Any more? Go ahead.
Wayne Crawford, student life background. I just wanted to add to the business that the family of Ralph Cottrell want to extend their thanks for the sending of flowers for his dad's funeral. He said he'd like to be here today, but he's unfortunately at work, so he asked me to have his thanks extended to you guys.
Tell him he's welcome. Ralph used to be a steward for the local. However, what happens for passing the family members are defined as those that are in contract. We send flowers to the member. We use the obituary. We use a report from the work site to do that. So if you have knowledge of those things occurring, please report it. That's practically more than 20 years old, and we continue to do that. In cases where flowers aren't wanted, we take the same amount of money the flowers would be and donate that to whatever the directed cause is, or whatever the directed charity that they request. So, Ralph, tell Ralph thank you for us, and we were glad we were able to catch that. We don't catch them all, but we try. New business. All right, I'll make one report. The cook has quit. She's been doing that for probably more than 20 years, maybe about 20 years, but cook has quit. And so we'll have a sort of a determination about whether we will continue to have breakfast. The cost for it is approximately about $200 a month. That's always a consideration. So really, I'm throwing that out as new business as a consideration for the group. Should we continue to have breakfast? I'll listen to discussion on it. Anybody have any suggestions? If we do continue, then we'll figure out, you know, who's doing, how it will be done, and how much it'll cost. But I'm bringing it to the floor, and should we continue to do it?
I say yes.
Dwayne Jones. Dwayne Jones said yes. Do I have a other conversation?
Yes.
Earn more? Would.
Well, just what my take. Everybody looks forward to that. It was an opportunity for people to come once a month. The breakfast was here. I think the breakfast was even a drawing card.
Yes, she guaranteed me that people came to get the breakfast, not to hear me talk.
So it's a good opportunity for members to come once a month, sit down and eat breakfast and discuss issues that we practice.
Yeah, it may be, for attendance sake, it may be necessary.
If you need to cook, I'll cook.
Okay, I hear you.
All right.
It's also a good social event because folks stand around before the meeting starts and talk and share, swap things in their areas. Wondering too if we could maybe just go to a continental, just have donuts and coffee every.
Further conversation, but I just.
Okay.
I'm just saying, should we have breakfast and that?
Okay,
Well,
you're
we got
right.
something back there now. I don't know if it's continental or universal, but there's food back there.
Something.
Okay, I want to make that announcement. It appears, well, let's vote. Do I hear a motion from the floor sounding like we should continue to have breakfast? Do I have such a motion? Dwayne Crawford, do I have a second? Dwayne Jones. All in favor of said motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. All not in favor, same sign. All right. Motion is passed. We will continue to serve breakfast. A second question was given to me about a month ago about attendance at the meeting, and should we, well, they suggested we go to quarterly meetings instead of monthly meetings. I told that member that there would have to be a movement from the body, and so I'll bring it to the floor so that I can report the same has been done. So do discussion about moving to quarterly instead of monthly. Do I have any conversation? Mr. Harrison?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay. Mr. Woods?
Oh, okay. Fred Woods. If we do it quarterly, we have to notify the members during all the meetings, because some people don't come to, because some of the people, members do not come to the meetings periodically, and they probably would not notice that we went from monthly to quarterly. That's one argument.
Michael Seacrest, I'm on the staff. It's the same faces every month, so if the idea is to improve attendance, I don't think you're going to get 4 times as many people at a quarterly meeting as you get at a monthly meeting, because it's going to be the same people at the quarterly meeting. So if it's an attendance thing, it won't work out. It will not improve attendance.
Lynn Cornegay, Wayne Crawford.
Dave Lesher, West Campus. I think the meetings are really important to have on a monthly basis. I've been in 4 or 5 different meetings. We usually have quarterly meetings. But here it's kind of different. And the reason I think we ought to continue is the face-to-face stuff is a lot more important than the technology stuff that happens, even if it's small. The other factor to consider is management, as they've got their offensive going, has meetings after meetings after meetings, and they serve lots and lots of food. The problem is the meetings with management are captive audience meetings. You're often on the clock in those meetings. They act like it's democratic and their door is always open, but they don't collaborate. It's not a genuine, we're representing you, we need your input. It's not a democratic situation at all. So in our local, in our circumstance, you get a bit of a dosing with democracy that you don't get from what the employer's offensive is supplying readily on campus. So for my part of it, if the staff is up for it, I'd say let's do it every month.
Every month.
Next, I don't remember who was next. Lynn?
This is my opinion, that monthly meetings are very important, too important to go to quarterly meetings.
Yeah.
I think that there's too many issues that come up during the month on these jobs now and in these areas that needs to be addressed. The format for the monthly meetings can be a venue for them to come and express or let us know what's going on in the area. So I think that monthly meetings is too vital for the go-to-quarterly meetings.
I agree. Thank you. Wayne?
Yeah, as far as monthly meetings, I say we stick to monthly meetings. We've been having monthly meetings since, when Jim Irvin was president, even when Gary Joseph was president. So there shouldn't be no need for change from monthly to quarterly. I mean, as far as with District 4,
District 4 is not the issue here.
well, I know, but I'm just saying, for example, okay, they went by, biennial, okay?
Well, that's not District 4, it's the national.
Even though I understand that, but we shouldn't have to change what we have been traditionally been doing since 1968. So I say we stick monthly.
Thank you. Crystal Harris?
I hear everything that everybody is saying as far as monthly meetings and things like that, but I want to make sure that everybody understands that change is inevitable, and sometimes you have to change things in order to stay afloat. And not to say that I support quarterly meetings or anything, but we do need to look at other options. One, because our membership is scarce, and then financially, the cost of making sure that we provide food and things like that. And then as stewards, if we do go quarterly, bi-monthly, whatever the case might be, as stewards, that means that we need to really step up to the plate of what we're charged to do and make sure that we get the information that is needed and report things back and things like that. So it's not just about, going to quarterly meetings, pass out information only at the monthly meetings or quarterly. We need to be making sure that we're stopping past our hall, contacting, and getting the information that we need out there, and then realize too that, just on the standpoint of where we are economically and things, that it might be beneficial to go to not monthly.
Thank you. Lee Paul, I see you. Lee Paul?
It's completely dangerous to the whole concept, because the reason why the communication team got started up was the fact of the gap of lack of communication and information. So the communication team got together and brainstormed ways to keep everybody in the loop. And this would, if you go quarterly, what it does is raises a red flag to the members, which numbers into the thousand. We only might get a handful, but we open up the door of reaching out to them in a variety of different ways. And what happens at a monthly meeting is that you're dealing with issues that during that 30 days of 1,000 members, I mean, the campus and the other organizations the other people that you represent off campus, there's so much information and so much, and what the campus doing all their turnaround has became more vital on information, because the campus and with all the variety of different departments doing change around for whatever reason, you get to cover it during a monthly meeting. I mean, if you go quarterly, then you're going to have to figure out a way to cover that monthly, because what the union members, the feedback from the union
got one more observation. I think the one thing that everybody has to deal with is what is called apathy. Your attendance indicates sometimes that, well, what is it going to take? You got all these, how many total members do you represent on campus?
On campus? 1750.
You got 1,700 members.
Something like that.
And this is a representative of really how much participation. It's kind of sad, but it's a reality. It's not only here, but it's nationwide, because if you look at the statistics, union participation is down to less than 11%, 10%. People said, and a lot of times people say, well, unions are not relevant. Well, if you ask the individual that's here today, this is their job. And they come because they're concerned about the...
Who's going to get what of that 3%? But everybody can't get it. Like I say, how do I get at least so that I can get it to the exceed? Everybody can't get exceed. Even if you do a top-notch job, everybody cannot get that, because the pool of money that they allocated is not there for that to happen. And that was my word.
Okay, so that story is a prime example of what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, I don't care what it is. We have an agreement, and part of that everybody can't get it is because we won't do it. We don't ask our supervisor, what do I need to get to get to the The contract says, if you ask that, you're supposed to get an answer.
You never get
The contract says, if you don't get the answer, you're supposed to call a steward or call the committee. The contract says that when the committee comes, they straighten that out right there in real time. I know what Molly said. Well, I know what you told me. And I believe it. But I believe unless you take your contract and say, these are my rights, and you do the things that are in them, then you're right and Molly's right. It ain't going to happen. They depend on you, like you personally, us, not pushing those things forward. It's there. It's the tool that you use. I mean, that's what it's there for. For us to take this thing and just put it in our pocket, not put it in our pocket, put it in the closet, put it in the drawer, put it in the basement, level up the table, and not use it at work. It's like being a ditch digger and just putting a shovel in the closet. I'm at where I'm ready. Ain't nothing happening. You have it. You have it. Use it. So next month we'll talk about how to use it correctly. I got to go to Crystal first, Mr. Harrison. Mr. Harrison. Crystal, here.
No, because me and the definitely just talk about, but again, it's like I said, we have all the tools in the world, and I know especially student life is, of course, the bottom of the total code. Student life, we are the least ones to call them a steward. When a steward comes around and says you need help, are you okay with your pay? You're blowing it off and things like that. But even if you're not a steward, and you come to these monthly meetings month after month, you should be making sure that you advocate for your fellow co-workers too, because if you end up losing that job, they come into your name.
Okay, thank you. Somebody do it. Mr. Harrison, go ahead.
I started at OSU in '76. When the main campus, the main building was 10 stories high. It was like that. And the reason why I continue to come, and I'm retired, I'm done. The reason why I come is that I'm concerned that as we move closer and closer to outsourcing, and that's what they're doing. I don't care where you are, main campus, satellite campuses, newer, outsourcing and subcontracting out is the buzzword. It is the buzzword. Parking services was an indication. Now you say you didn't lose positions. I beg to differ. The positions are not there. Now if they can do that with parking, they can do it with maintenance, they can do it with landscaping, they can do it with cleaning. I'll give you an example. When I first started here, there were 2,700 custodians on the main campus. 2,700. Guess how many there is now?
But it's not 2,700.
That's right. Now, how did you think
not
that?
even thousands.
That's right. Now, how do you think that was accomplished? They just strategically, each cycle, each budget. I'll give you an example. Since I left in 10, the West Campus has been outsourced. I'm not even working, and I can tell you that. They've restructured it. I'm sitting here talking to the man tell me, we're going to the main medical center starting this year. Huh? When did academic and medical, because they were always separated. The medical was always separated from academic. But all of a sudden, Gordon Gee says, nah, we're going to merge. Everybody. Merge. What are they doing? By merging everything together, all they're doing is through attrition, eliminating your job. You don't see it, but you're losing jobs, because if the academic can do the same work as medical used to be separated, then they just eliminate the position. And what they're doing, I'm telling you, they're outsourcing, because the work, even on the main campus, the man says he fights for in the medical complex, making sure that they do meets and exceeds. Half the work on the main campus is outsourced, maintenance and all other. I see it every day, because as the university grows, they ain't gonna. You would think you would increase in total membership work-wise, but it ain't there. Why?
Because it's not planned to be there.
That's right. That's right.
The second thing is that the model has changed in those cycles. You've been since '72.
Right.
That's about the year after I was born. But they did repair, they did construction, they did and maintenance, right? All right. They are shifting to we're just going to do maintenance. So if they're not doing construction, then somebody else has to do it. That's your contract, right? If they're not really doing repairs so much, somebody has to do it. That's the contract. If they're down to just PMs, somebody has to do all the other work. And one of the things is this academic mission thing. Now, I didn't mean that we didn't lose work. What I'm saying is, I'm saying it again, we lose positions. We lost the work. You know, now for parking, there are not union people doing that work. We absolutely lost the work. People didn't lose their jobs. They didn't lose a job. Let's say it that way. But when you lose work, you lose influence or what leverage you have. Right. And it's dwindled down to those kind of things. Now, it's not all of a sudden. It might seem like all of a sudden. But I can remember for some time Dr. Gee saying we are going to be one university. One university. It's because too many departments had their own sort of kingdom, right? Medical center, who still have their own board of trustees. But that was one of the biggest challenges for this university plan. Now, he can't really mess with athletics. You know, that is truly the king. You know, he tried to tip at it a little bit, but he can't get much further than that. That's over. Athletics stands alone. If they do something for Dr. Gee or the board, it's really a favor to them. They're not really subject to that. Student life comes next in the kingdom. Student life, direct connection with patients, students, parents, community. They're kind of messing with them. And you know this. I know you know this. The reason you have those new vice presidents, he hand-picked them. They were approved, and they were approved because they're going to carry out his march. That's what they're going to do. And so they're trying to get them to come in. Times are changing. You heard Ms. Harris say, you got to change. Times are changing. Change is inevitable. Some things you have to put up a fight for. And you have to pick which one it's going to be. So I vaguely mentioned $500 million. We couldn't really fight that. You know, we fought it. We knew we weren't going to win it. And they're greedy for that cash, man. It's greedy. No, the people that used to fight for, Carmen, Ohio, tradition, ethics, morality based on people. Who is it? Woody Hayes? Win with people. Well, Woody Hayes is dead. He's dead. And they gave him a statue, and then they tear down other buildings with other names that are significant. Change is inevitable. But people, not personality, people are, as long as they're going to be people, people are forever. So those things we have to figure out a way, how do we survive? How do we move in this sort of economy and sort of culture? Because it will change. Will we be around? Will we still have the kind of the implements to be there and get somewhere when it does change? Will we be able to take advantage of it? Those other things, the fights that'll be fights forever, ain't gonna change. But we got to keep fighting. That's what should really change. If every little nook and cranny of your agreement, you got to fight about it. You got to fight about it. We'll talk about Article 21 to come, but something else. Okay. I need a motion to extend for 5 minutes. Do I have such a motion? Fred Woods. Do I have a second? Vernon Moore. All in favor of extending for 5 minutes, signify by saying aye. Aye. I oppose, same sign. The motion was passed. I think that's the end of my report. I also had somebody said that the YouTube video, the quality of the audio was poor. So I guess we'll start using the system. That way we can get everybody, mostly everybody, information. And, we had made a decision to suspend until further notice the Wednesday afternoon recap. Now, attendance was about 3 people. Long time, people would ask, we have a second meeting, not a morning meeting, a weekday meeting. We picked Wednesday, and we did pretty good. We started at like 9 people, which I think is cool. But the last 3 were down to like 2 people, 3 people, and some of them, like Wayne always showed up for it. He was at the first meeting anyway. So it kind of detracted from the full number, and I still appreciate that. So we made a decision to discontinue those. We may try another day, we may try something. But we did it for about a year. I think it was about a year. And so now they're suspended, I guess, until interest rises to the mark that we get more than 2 people. And I'm not counting me, so it's still 2 people. But I am counting Wayne, so that brings it to 1 person. Anyhow, it's suspended until further notice. And we'll try something else. I think that's our 3rd try. But this one was longer. Before we tried it maybe 6 months. It didn't go so good. We stopped. Tried it another 6 months and then we stopped. But this one I think we've gone for about a year. And I haven't heard one complaint from the people who said they were unable to make a Saturday morning that the Wednesday's gone. Nor have I seen them. So, yes, sir.
Your Wednesday meetings has really been replaced by the YouTube and Facebook. I think the main web pages as well, is that we have to see the numbers going up for people just going on and checking those out. And there's places on YouTube and Facebook and the main web page that people can leave comments, and Michael Secret will dive those comments to you, but those places for those comments. So you got your Wednesday meetings got replaced by YouTube.
That's very possible. Well, that's possible. I think the numbers were lower than we projected even before we launched the YouTube site.
Dave, I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the regular monthly meetings and making the comments that they do, including the leadership. I always learn a lot at the meetings from the remarks that are made, and it's inspiring to go back to work. It's clear management treats labor as a commodity. And I can tell you from working in the stores area, even the managers that I'm working with and the people who don't seem to care deeply about what's going on. And this local 4501 has always risen to the occasion in crisis times with the right measure of solidarity and push to really make a difference for the good. And that, after years and years, we're facing Goliath. It's like fighting tobacco companies. Every time you file a grievance, management issues the most confounding response they can, trying to break the union. They're always interested in putting workers down. They're predators. People know better than what's going around. Like I say, even the management knows that. The union's an important presence here, so I just want to say thanks, everybody, for coming and participating and caring enough to do that. Fighting the power.
Everybody says you're welcome.
Okay.
Committee report, Crystal Harris. Community outreach and engagement, it can be short. And then we have a petition. Is it at the back? Right, okay, we have a petition for the Freedom to Marry Act. We want petitioners who want signatures. Crystal, report.
We did the financial fitness fair Thursday evening. We all would have liked to see way more people that came out just because it was for the membership. We will be doing another one. It will probably happen right before summer break. We didn't spend much, which was great. We had 3 door prizes and a grand prize. But again, I encourage everybody to always take advantage of any event that we choose to hold because it is for the membership. It's for the betterment of all of us. Yes.
To speak on that, a lot of people on my side of town said that had you had this right afterwards, they would have been more willing to participate. But it's 5 o'clock. You know, some people pick up the
right. And the only unfortunate part when we do anything, it's hard to accommodate everybody.
Right.
So you have to try and accommodate the bulk of people. And you know, when we sat down, 5 to 7 was a good time because we did it through the board, and that was just between traffic and things like that. But again, financial fitness is not just workout fitness, that we're kind of lazy about. So to me, just my thought that if you're financially struggling, I don't care if it's 6:55 in the morning and you giving me free information or you're gathering resources here at the hall that's for free, I'm going to be there because we all are financially struggling. So again, we're definitely going to do it again before the summer hits, and please, please, please post as much as you possibly can. We tried to get things out the week of and things, and a lot of people were saying they were going to come. It's really a lot of good information there, and there's a lot of good organizations that are offering their help. And because we are union members, we get discounts about things, and instead of nobody knowing where to go to get the information, we brought the information here for everybody. So again, I'll make sure that we keep you abreast about things. But
who was here?
The e-board and
who was here?
Oh, okay. Homeport Ohio, which is a nonprofit organization, they offer classes, free classes for homebuyer education and things like that. HER Realtors, the Legend Group, which is a financial advisor, AFLAC, which offers subsidized insurance, when you get laid off and, when you're doing that light duty, and they lay you off for 30 days, and then the 31st day they try and bring you back. So, that would help out. Central Ohio Credit Union, United Way, and then the only attendance that we didn't have was through American Eagle Mortgage Company, and I spoke to him yesterday, but he said he would make sure that he was in there for next time. So again, this is just to make sure that we are moving from renters to owners. I did say HER. I'm sorry, HER Realtors if I didn't say it. Making sure that we're going from renters to homeowners, financially fit, getting out of debt and stop living paycheck to paycheck, just to make sure that we don't feel like OSU has us by the neck. So again, I'm definitely going to make sure that we set something up again, and just please, anything that we decide to hold as a committee, and I thank Mrs. Miracle because I love her. And everybody, the e-board and everything that helped out. But again, as community outreach and engagement, if we're putting something together, it's not for the benefit of us, it's for the benefit of the membership, just because you know that, there's a lot of different things that goes on in our personal lives. And although OSU might not consider it, your union considers your work-life situation. So, thanks everybody.
Did you say Credit Union of Ohio?
I did.
Yes. And we solicit, we'll have more vendors in the spring. I think it'll be attached to a pig roast. We'll have some turkey, but it'll be attached to that. We're going to have another one. The vendors want to come back. They're still excited about it. There are financial groups. Legend is particularly aware of PERS and the ins and outs of PERS. And so I would really encourage you to talk to the Legend people because for public retirement and such, they kind of specialize in it. So they can help you amplify what's happening with the PERS. Anybody close to retirement planning should definitely be here. For that. Miracle Lawson.
I just wanted to say, I think we should give Crystal a hand. Anybody that was there, what a great job she did to put this together for people, even though we didn't get a lot of people to show up. She did a great job.
I think you all did a great job. I'm very proud and appreciative of it. The vendors were excited. We just want to make sure we have an opportunity to get that information out to you in a way that's, the way that's really fulfilling. Woods.
I was need some more elaborating on what she was saying. There was a program that the federal government would give you income taxes if you make under $60,000 for free. Yeah. It's better than TurboTax or going to H&R Block and not plugging it in.
Yeah, that was just one of them presented.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah. Free taxes. I don't have to give you the floor work, man. Did you want the floor?
For a second, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You gotta get from the chair.
We didn't get no notes in our building, what, Thursday, Cliff?
Yeah.
We had no notes before prior to.
She gave it to me.
Yeah.
No, when?
So you gave it to him, we didn't even know.
I'll work on
That is terrible news.
Yeah.
Here's the good news. We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And we're going to make sure we get some notice.
Okay.
Yeah, because we didn't have no notes until the very last minute.
I have gone past my time. I need a motion to have the drawing and then conclude. Do I have such a motion? Motion. David? Michelle? Is there a second to that motion? Dwayne Jones. All in favor of said motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I oppose, same sign. Thank you.
Yes, I do. Yeah. If anybody wants information, there is some information by the door, like about the Legend group and things like that, that's on a little ledge. But I don't have a lot because I was seeing the...
So remember on this ticket, the last four numbers is 0111.
All right.
I haven't signed it yet.
The next number is 0109. You better not get up.
Silent winner.
Right.
Yeah, everybody should know his name by now.
We better start making him by that Frank.
The last number is 0111. $75, I'm sorry. The first two were 50, this is 75. Zero, right? Okay, 0114.
011.
Mr. Dillon.
All right.
All right.
That's $75 drawing. Do not forget the petition before you leave.
Okay.
Petition for Franklin County, right? Oh, they got them for all the counties.
Let them know what county.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
We're doing all 80
Well,
counties.
that's good.
Good point though, David. Good to know.
Roger's full,
Oh, I